Welcome to Success Suite with Julie Hogbin. Success Suite is your key to unlocking success fueled by transparency, integrity and visionary leadership with a conscious design. Whether you're scaling your business, elevating your career or aligning your personal life with your deeper purpose, we'll provide the tools, insights and inspiration to help you thrive. The podcast where success isn't just a goal, it's a strategy. Formerly known as Conscious Leadership, this rebranded powerhouse is built on the foundation of over 200 episodes that explored how intentional, integrity-led, visionary and emotionally intelligent leadership transforms lives and businesses and are the foundation for sustained success. This is your blueprint for next-level success. No fluff, no excuses. It's about winning in life and business with clarity, transparency and the strategies that work. Here, we cut through the noise and focus on what really works. Building wealth in every sense of the word, mastering leadership and driving sustainable results. If you're here to make excuses or stay comfortable, this isn't your space. But if you're ready to take ownership, make bold moves and lead with both strength and vision, you're in the right place. Success isn't a mystery. It's a state of mind, a system and leadership. Here, with Julie's mantra of nothing sits in isolation, everything is connected. We'll dive into strategies that cover you as the leader you are, to lead with integrity while achieving sustainable success on your terms. If you're ready to design a life and business you love, welcome to the Success Suite. Welcome to the Success Suite, the podcast that equips you with all the tools you need to achieve your goals and thrive in your personal and professional life. I'm your host, Julie Hogbin, and in this episode, we're diving into the topic of conflict resolution and management, something that affects all of us at one point or another. Whether it's in the workplace, at home, or in our social circles, understanding the steps and strategies for effectively managing conflicts is a crucial skill for success. I mentioned in a previous episode I would share the different approaches you can take when managing or resolving conflict, and here they are. Before I start with the detail, I would like to mention that we cannot always resolve conflict sometimes. We just have to manage it, and sometimes everyone will like and accept the result, and sometimes they won't, and that applies to life and business. The important thing is that we deal with it as best we can, rather than letting it escalate and develop wings. A brief recap that understanding conflict is a necessary part of success. Conflict is often seen as a negative and disruptive force, but in reality, it is an inevitable part of any success we have both in business and in life. When managed effectively, conflict can actually lead to positive change and growth. Understanding conflict is crucial to navigating it in a productive way. Conflict arises due to differing perspectives, goals and priorities, and it can stem from a variety of sources such as miscommunication, competition, or resource allocation. Instead of avoiding or suppressing conflict, it is important to recognise that it is a natural part of working with diverse individuals and teams. By acknowledging the existence of conflict and seeking to understand its root causes, we can begin to address it constructively. This involves active listening, empathy, and open communication. By truly understanding the underlying issues, we can work towards finding mutually beneficial solutions and fostering stronger relationships. Many breakthroughs and innovations have emerged from the tension and differing viewpoints that conflict brings. By reframing conflict as an opportunity for dialogue, learning and growth, we can harness its potential to drive positive change. What one of us may perceive as conflict, another perceives as a healthy discussion or debate. Remember, when the debate is healthy, great things can happen. It can be a case of 1 + 1 can equal 5, and of course it could equal -1 when we are not communicating effectively. So, the next time you encounter conflict in a safe situation at work or home, remember that it is not something to be feared. And of course, it may be if you're wandering a dark, unknown street. Conflict is a natural part of the journey towards success. Embrace it, understand it, and use it as a catalyst for positive transformation. Arbitration, the structured path to settle disputes. Arbitration is a structured and efficient method for resolving conflicts that can't be settled through negotiation or mediation. In this process, a neutral third party, known as an arbitrator, is chosen to listen to both sides of the dispute and make a binding decision. This can be a more formal approach compared to mediation, but it's still less time-consuming and costly than going through the court system. One of the key benefits of arbitration is that it allows for more flexibility and privacy compared to traditional litigation. The parties involved can choose their arbitrator, as well as the time and place for the arbitration hearings. This can be particularly advantageous for businesses seeking confidentiality in their disputes or wanting to avoid the publicity and time-consuming nature of court proceedings. Arbitration also tends to be more predictable than going to court, as the parties involved can agree on the rules and procedures that will govern the arbitration process. This can help streamline the process and avoid the uncertainty that often comes with litigation. However, it's important to note that while arbitration can be a highly effective way to resolve disputes, it's not always suitable for every situation. Some agreements may require disputes to be resolved through arbitration, so it's important to carefully consider the pros and cons of this process before entering into any contracts or agreements. Overall, arbitration offers a structured and well-defined path to settling disputes, providing a viable alternative to the courtroom where the judge makes the decision. It allows the involved parties to have more control over the process and can lead to quicker, more cost-effective resolutions. Mediation. Finding common ground. In a mediation process, a third party is involved and the goal is to find common ground and facilitate a productive dialogue between the parties involved. This involves a facilitated process where the mediator asks both parties to explain the situation. It involves active listening, asking open-ended questions, and creating a safe space for both parties to express their concerns and needs. By focusing on common interests and searching for areas of agreement, the mediator helps the parties move toward finding a mutually beneficial resolution. Rather than seeking to place blame or determine a winner, mediation encourages collaboration and compromise to reach a satisfactory outcome for everyone involved. This approach can lead to more sustainable and satisfactory solutions, as it empowers the parties to actively participate in the resolution process. Negotiation. Crafting win-win solutions. In the negotiation process, it's important to keep in mind that our aim is to craft win-win solutions. This means that we should seek outcomes where all parties involved feel satisfied and that their needs have been considered. One approach to achieving this is to focus on interests rather than positions. By understanding the underlying needs and motivations of each party, we can work towards solutions that address everyone's concerns. Another key element in crafting win-win solutions is effective communication. This involves active listening, asking open-ended questions, and expressing our own interests in a clear and constructive manner. By fostering open and honest dialogue, we can create an atmosphere conducive to collaboration and compromise. It's also essential to be creative and flexible during the negotiation process. Exploring different options and being open to alternative solutions can often lead to innovative outcomes that benefit all parties involved. By thinking outside the box and being willing to adapt our approach, we increase the likelihood of finding mutually beneficial agreements. Ultimately, the goal of negotiation is not to simply win at the expense of others, but to find ways to reconcile competing interests and achieve positive outcomes for everyone involved. By focusing on interests, practicing effective communication, and embracing creativity and flexibility, we can work towards crafting win-win solutions that create value for all parties. It is vital to prepare for a negotiation and have in place your top request, your bottom line walk away, and the elements you are prepared to negotiate with, choosing the right approach for your situation. When it comes to resolving conflicts, it's important to choose the right approach for your specific situation. Different conflicts call for different strategies, and understanding the options available to you can make a significant difference in finding a resolution that works for everyone involved. One approach you might consider is mediation. This involves bringing in a neutral third party to help facilitate a conversation between conflicting parties. Mediation can be particularly effective when emotions are running high and communication has broken down. It allows each party to express their concerns and perspectives in a structured and controlled environment, with the goal of finding common ground and reaching a mutually acceptable agreement. On the other hand, if the conflict involves clear violations of rules or policies, a more authoritative approach, such as arbitration, may be necessary. These methods involve a third party making a binding decision on the outcome of the conflict based on evidence and arguments presented by each side. While more formal and potentially adversarial, these approaches can be essential in resolving conflicts that cannot be resolved through negotiation or mediation alone. For conflicts within a team or organisation, a collaborative approach such as conflict coaching or team-building exercises may be beneficial. By focusing on communication, understanding individual perspectives, and fostering a culture of respect and empathy, teams can work through conflicts in a way that strengthens their relationships and overall effectiveness. Remember, it is not always up to the team, and you as a manager and leader will need to step in, call the shots, and arbitrate. Ultimately, the key is to assess the nature, context, and stakeholders involved in the conflict to determine the most suitable approach. By considering the unique dynamics at play and the desired outcomes, you can choose the approach that is most likely to lead to a satisfactory resolution or management of the conflict. The role of transparency in conflict resolution. Transparency plays a crucial role in conflict resolution. So, how does it work? Well, when both parties are open and honest about their perspectives and feelings, it creates a foundation for understanding and respect. Being transparent means sharing your thoughts and concerns without fear of judgment and being receptive to the other person's viewpoint. This can help to break down barriers and build trust, which are essential for moving towards a resolution. When there's transparency, it paves the way for productive communication and a greater likelihood of finding common ground. So, the next time you find yourself in a conflict, remember the power of transparency in working towards a resolution. Tips for maintaining transparency throughout the process. Maintaining transparency throughout the conflict resolution process is crucial for building trust and ensuring all parties feel heard and understood. Here are some tips to help you maintain transparency every step of the way. First and foremost, be open and honest about the process itself. Clearly communicate the steps involved, the timeline, and what each party can expect. Transparency about the process helps everyone feel more comfortable and informed. Secondly, encourage open communication. Create an environment where all parties feel empowered to express their thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment. Active listening and open dialogue can help uncover underlying issues and pave the way for a more effective resolution. It's also important to be transparent about the potential outcomes. Discuss the various possible solutions and their implications, and be open about any limitations or constraints that may affect the final resolution. Lastly, follow through on your commitments. If you make promises or agreements during the process, be sure to uphold them. This demonstrates your commitment to transparency and helps build credibility and trust. By maintaining transparency throughout the conflict resolution process, you can foster a more positive and inclusive environment where all parties feel respected and valued. Win-win, win-lose, lose-lose. In the final section of our podcast today, we'll be discussing the different outcomes that can arise from conflict resolution processes. We'll explore the concepts of win-win, win-lose and lose-lose situations and how they impact the management of conflicts. Firstly, let's talk about the win-win approach. This is when a resolution is found that benefits all parties involved, leading to a positive outcome where everyone feels satisfied and valued. It involves collaboration, open communication, and a focus on common interests rather than individual positions. On the other hand, the win-lose approach often results in one party coming out as the winner, while the other ends up feeling resentful or dissatisfied. This type of resolution may create further tension and negatively impact future interactions. Lastly, there's the lose-lose scenario, where no party achieves their desired outcome, leading to ongoing dissatisfaction and potential damage to relationships. It's essential to be mindful of these potential outcomes when navigating conflicts and aim for win-win solutions whenever possible. By prioritising open communication, empathy, and a willingness to seek mutual understanding, we can increase the likelihood of reaching positive resolutions that benefit all involved. Remember that conflict resolution is a skill that can be developed over time, along with transparency. And I hope our discussion has provided some valuable insights for your own personal and professional interactions. As we wrap up today's discussion on conflict resolution and management, let's recap some key takeaways that can help you navigate challenging situations. Remember, open and effective communication is at the heart of any successful conflict resolution. It is important to approach conflicts with a solutions-oriented mindset. Instead of focusing on blame or winning the argument, aim to find solutions that address the root causes of the conflict. Finally, don't shy away from seeking outside help if needed. Whether it involves a mediator or a trusted third party, sometimes an unbiased perspective can facilitate a smoother resolution process. By integrating these strategies into your approach to conflict resolution and management, you can foster healthier and more productive relationships in both your personal and professional life. Remember, conflict is a natural part of human interaction, and how we choose to address and manage it can ultimately strengthen our connections with others. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you find these insights valuable in your own conflict resolution journey. If you would like some help, pop over to juliehogbin.com and contact me, or navigate to the course tab, and you will find an all-encompassing leadership voice program, which covers all aspects of transparency. Thanks for listening to Success Suite, where we don't just talk about success, we create it. If today's episode sparked something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who's ready to listen and learn. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. If you found value here, I'd love it if you could take a moment to leave a review. Your feedback helps us reach even more people ready to transform their life and business. For additional powerful insights, strategies, and exclusive content, head over to our YouTube channel. Subscribe there for videos that dive even deeper into the topics we cover here. And remember to check out my author page on Amazon and juliehogbin.com, where you'll find resources, tools, and insights to fuel your journey. Let's connect and keep the momentum going. And please look at successsuite.io for magic to help you and your business. Remember, success starts with action. Go out there and make it happen. Subscribe for your weekly episode on Success Suite, and if you want a specific topic covered, let me know.